Good morning and welcome back to a broadcast of the Student StarCraft AI Tournament. We have got for you two new bots, and that is quite something. As the Brown Zerg, we've got a bot called La Nuit, and en français I think it's pronounced La Nuit, but I don't know how it like it in English. And as our yellow Protoss as benchmark, this time we've got AIIDE, and that is a bot coded by French gosu Florian Richoux. Now, what we've got with this new bot, I don't know, but we are sure going to find out. And for this quick video at the start of the 2015 finals, or I must say tournament proper, which will start at the 25th of December, I'd like to show you what's going on in a pool of participants, and especially the new bots. Okay, and as with most Zerg bots, if they start out, they are going to do a well, it's a 4 pool really, and it's just going to be a bunch of links. And let's see if there's any promise in the way that they micro, or that they pathfind, or how they do things in general. And Overlord hitting that way, links going the other way. That is a smart little bit of something to gain a little bit of scouting advantage. And there they go, the probes come off the line, but against 6 Zerglings, as you can see, the probe micro is not all that it, and all the links keep living, and we've now got 6 links and 0 probes for AIIDE, and that is the end of it. Meanwhile, in the main base, nothing much is happening except that more links are being built and an overlord. So at this stage of the game, La Nuit is a new Zerg bot, but it is only a 4-pool bot at present, and we can only hope that the coder will be able to invest a little bit more time to upgrade it into something more interesting before the tournament starts, as I said, at the 25th. Okay, as you might have noticed, I am speeding these things up a little bit because well, the early stages aren't all that interesting, and there are not as many moments where these bots can make choices, and that is what it could get a little bit slow. Now, I had another game, and that was by, I think this is it. It is by a well, it's a new terran really, and it is called Stone. And actually, oh look at that, we've got 3 SCVs heading off to the wrong minerals, but Stone was, or Stone is, a map analysis program, and it has been developed in line with this bot. But the main component of this work of Igor Dimitrievich, I am so sorry, he is from France, so that should be a French pronunciation of that as well, but I don't know it. Let me remain content with pronouncing it correctly in English. Igor Dimitrievich has made an application for other bots to analyze what is going on with the terrain and how they are going to navigate that. And now it finds the enemy, and all of a sudden these SCVs come back, or no, they appear to be going to the Protoss base. And in the main base we've got more SCVs being built, 2 mining now. I can't really see how this is going to work, but of course SCVs have these 60 hit points and 5 damage, compared to a probe's 40 hit points and, well, 5 damage as well. But the SCVs are quite sturdy, and oh, if they repair themselves, that might be even better. So at the main base we've got some little SCV production going on. Now we've got 4 SCVs, so 3 of the initial SCVs hit the scouting pattern, and now they are going to harass these probes. And these probes, if they don't really pull off some concerted effort to fend off these 4 SCVs, this one is trapped, so it can't run anywhere. And will they fight back? Yeah, they will fight back. But after the probe has been killed, I think the SCVs will be repaired. I'm not quite sure yet. They seem to be moving out of harm's way. And these ones as well, but they have so many hit points. I think they are... That one's got... let's keep an eye on that one. It's got 10 hit points, and it's now being repaired. So these probes don't stand a chance. And in the main base we've got 3 we've got 3 SCVs mining, and the rest is all sent to the enemy base. Now we've got a Stargate gateway coming up, but with only 2 probes, which are being killed off slowly but meticulously by these 4 SCVs, and that will show you the advantages of having a good strategy to deal with this kind of play. 1 more probe left, no 2, we've got a scouting probe somewhere, we've got the scouting probe here, but these SCVs are quite able to fend it off, and as you can see the worker micro of stone is impeccable. Now let's speed it up a little bit because all the probes are dead, and the only thing we can expect is a couple of more SCVs, or can we? Because yeah, we can. We've got 4 mining, defending now, I've got a handful here. There goes the Nexus, and stone actually has a 95% win rate, so of all the silly rushes, I thought I had seen it all, but as you can imagine, I was greatly shocked to see that an SUV rush with decent micro and a repair script can get you a 95% win rate on the server, and that makes stone, with this strategy, makes it a prime competitor for the 2015 title of the Student StarCraft AI Tournament. Okay, so a couple of other things I've got to show you. Those are that too. And we've got a couple of updates. So at first we've got an update by LetaBot, and LetaBot by Martin Royaker. He won the 2014 tournament, and he is playing in the red with the moderate APM of 40-30. Okay, that's very well done. And as the Zerg, we've got TSC Mu Zerg. TSC Mu has not been idle all these months. I haven't spoken of him too much, but he's been working on some kind of machine learning where a piece of his bot is watching replays, and by that should be able to deduce build orders and formulate a strategy to counter them. As of yet, this genius scheme has not borne many fruits, so it's waiting a little bit until the first major breakthroughs come from that department. Martin Royak has won last tournament with a very clever combination of bunker rushes, proxy barracks, and well, over the course of the year he has been improving. He has added another strategy for versus Protoss play with more mech, and I think he now has abandoned rushing strategies altogether. And for Terran, he at one time did a marine push with SCVs, so a little bit like stone, but more of a mixture. And as you can see, the army is very late, so we've got 14 SCVs and the barracks is only being built. TSC Mu Zerg, however, is going for I don't know what, a pool, handful of Zerglings, and an expansion, so that is a nice mixture of defensive and offensive play. Now 2 barracks coming up, and it will be scouted. Have we got a scouting SCV in here? No, I don't think we have. That's odd. But this marine is fending off this scouting drone quite handily. The marine micro of LetaBot is very good because Martin Royakas has been instigating a micro tournament versus human players, and although the bots haven't really won yet, they are getting better, and Martin Royakas is one of the guys who is pushing very hard indeed with his micro skills of the bots, so that is very good. Okay, going for an expansion, going for some depots. There's a little bit supply block, and that's a little bit sloppy because well, you can't, if there's a concerted Zergling effort, you've got only 6 Marines, and that's not really enough. On the other hand, TSC Mu is not doing really much either, so I'll be interested to see how this is going to pan out. Let's speed it up a little bit. Okay, we've got some more Zerglings coming from TSC Mu, pressing Z for victory, and we've got the speed upgrade and the armor upgrade, which are going to help a lot versus these Marines. But LetaBot now with the medics, and that is a very good addition. In previous versions, these medics used to lag behind or walk ahead. So after not having really paid attention to LetaBot's game for a month, I hope. Okay, well, that is quite a nasty reaction on seeing one Zergling. The entire army stims and moves out, but they don't let themselves be pulled off course too much. Look at the amount of medics. That is a scary army. and you're going to need a hell of a lot more than a couple of lings, even with the armor upgrade coming up. What is TSC Mu's follow-up tech going to be? We've got lurkers, we've got a spire, we've got a third base. So that is what seems to be okay, but if there's mass of +1 already, oh, that is very good. Upgrades coming for LetaBot as well, that's something new too. If these Marines with their medics move over, they can just walk into there, because there is not really anything able to stop it. Now we've got Spy coming up, no more upgrades, so it's, let me see, we've got more Hydras. More Hydras. What's being built here? I can't quite see. That's a lava, so nothing. And keeping its money down pretty effectively, but of course that's something all bots can do. Now, LetaBot at 100 supply. TSC Mu Zerg going for the lurkers now at 66, a little bit tech heavy. And, well, there is not really all that much energy on these comsats, so... Oh, but we've got a science facility, and if our radiator is being researched, I don't doubt that there can be at least one science vessel in production. Very good. More barracks coming, a little bit more supply. TSC Mu waiting it out with a respectable number of lurkers. That is going to be a little bit of a problem for Terran if it's well, it all comes down to how it will use these science vessels. So speedy, 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 couple of tanks, okay, and now I'm going to slow down to normal speed, to faster speed, because the Terrans are moving out with +1 on the Marines and nothing on the tanks, no mines, and this is going to come down to micro. But if you look at the amount of Terran army, Terran is at 130, Zerg is at 90, and army supply-wise, Terran seems to have about triple. But there are no... oh, there comes the science vessel. Still, if you've only got... okay, got two tanks a little bit by. The bio should back off, because these lurkers have marines and medics for breakfast. A couple of Scourge, and I'll be interested to see if they can find a way to... this is... oh god, this science vessel should hover over here, because now all these marines are getting skewered, and with the rallies of Zerglings and one Muta, now the Scourge could have a chance versus these vessels, and there goes. No, it doesn't go. The Scourge do get killed off, but in the meanwhile, the Terran army is getting heavily punctured by these three. They've got more than 30-40 kills between them. That is quite a lot. And although no, these science vessels aren't really getting into the conflict because they are being scared off by this air army. TSC Mu now going for a fourth. And if you look at the minerals in LetaBot's base, it's almost mined out, and it's LetaBot is going to have to do something quickly about these attacks, because if it mines out in one base and it will find itself up against that is not good. That you should filter out, because all these mutas are getting damaged, and that is really bad. That is a lot of damage, and although now the vessels are off again, they have been repaired. No, we've got 4 vessels, but they should be more with the army, because that you can't do. That you simply can't do. What's this? We've got a science facility, all of 2 bays, and the main is mining out. So I do think that TSC Mu has got a very good chance, but now the Terran army is approaching the main base. Oh, and that lurker is worth its weight in gold. These mutas are all heavily damaged, so they can't really do much. 95 supply for Zerg, 110 for Terran. And this lurker is stemming the entire tide of the Terran invasion. That is so glorious. Good to see. No, you should get... oh, that is a damn shame. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That is so hard to do, to decide when your lurkers have got to pop up and when they've got to stay down. We've got air armor. That's a bad choice, because all you've got is a handful of damaged mutas, and that air armor is not going to do anything against the irradiated. Now 3 or 4 vessels and the battle cruiser, and the battle cruiser's got 1 kill already. Now the Terran army, and where is the swarm? You've got a hive and you've got another lair, but where is there? No, those are all hatcheries. Those are all hatcheries. More hatcheries. You don't need hatcheries. You need forces, and you need swarm, and you need it quickly, because we've now got 2 battle cruisers. We've got a barracks being built in the path of the attack to the Zerg base. 5th base coming up. Supply wise, okay. But I do think that Terran now has got a coherent push. There are no more lurkers. TSC Mu seems to have switched, and this battle cruiser suffers 2 Scourge, but with the bio now being able to check the Zerg choke, that is not good. You need a couple of lurkers here and some pressure on these science vessels. Now the battle cruisers are able to roam free, and although the main base is nearly mined out now, it is Terran has such a big army advantage. It's now at 150, Zerg at only 93, and oh, that is a bit sloppy because battle cruisers should be able to take up Scourge anytime. The Naturals under attack, and although it will catch a couple of needles, grooved spines of these. Oh wow, that is very good. These battle cruisers are fleeing, and now all the battle cruisers are down. Now you need some Scourge and deal with this bio army, and then you have one. But where is? Oh, you really do need some kind of lurkers or plague or swarm or something like that. You can't really expect to win like that because the bio ball is pushing in. You've got another battle cruiser now. The Scourge can't touch it. And with the vessels overhead to take down with our radiate any more expensive unit that the Zerg can field. Main base of Terran is mined out. A handful of Zerglings drops here would have done so much, but as of yet, of this 2-base push, you can do so much. And these Zerglings and these Scourge are all going to die to these 1-1 stimmed medic Marines, and that is not looking good for TSC Mu. You need something to say, well, this is not going as we planned, we need a lurker, or we need some tech. You can't just A-move Zerglings and look at all the overlords. You can't just A-move Zergling Hydra into to a bio army like that. It's not going to work. Okay, going to speed it up a little bit because, well, as you can see, Terran is on the winning hand. Will it be able to move up? Or can Zerg formulate another plan? I don't think so, because there is a massive bio in the main base. There goes all the tech, and this battle cruiser is catching its death by Scourge, and that one may as well. But TSC Mu's army is always running away. It's not coherently defending another lair. Yeah, you don't need a lair. You need units. You need something else than just Zerglings and Hydras, and that's not a good switch. One more lurker, that's way too late, and the entire base is crawling. Okay, now LetaBot, being mined out, has no more money for a base. So if you weather that 2-base storm, of course, if Martin Royer can see this, you think, well, I should expand again, especially if I'm ahead by such a huge margin. I should expand again and do that, because LetaBot now is very, very dangerous. Being able to take out TSC Mu like that is very, very impressive. TSC Mu, as you may recall, has had LetaBot's number for most of the year. And by having its number, I mean its home number, its number, the number of its grandmother, and of its unborn children. And now LetaBot is just smacking TSC Mu Zerg about. That is really impressive. 2 more lurkers, finally more lurkers coming, but with all these vessels and all that bio, it's not going to work. Last base of Terran, of Zerg, I mean, and it's rebuilding, so it's kind of okay, but you need a plan. You can't just do more of the same. Okay, I'm going to call this the GG because we've got lots. I've got lots more to show you. That was the new LetaBot, and LetaBot now at the brink of the 2015 tournament will have, I think, a very good chance of winning it once again, and this time not by means of cheese. That is, of course, if Stone's SCV rush is checked. Now, we've got Killerbot, and Killerbot has been a bit of a surprise because Marian Diveka was one of the first coders of Broodwar AI, and it was very good. It was the best Zerg bot out there, and now it's back. And it has been updated, and it is very, very good. Before Stone hit the stage a couple of 2-3 weeks ago, it had been the bot posting the 95 to 100% win rates constantly over longer periods of time, and that is very good. Now we've got TSC Mu Protoss, so as you may have known, after the 2014 tournament, TSC Mu hit the stage with the Terran bot, which was very good, which beat all the then prominent bots easily. Then it developed TSC Mu developed a Zerg bot, which was very good indeed, and beat the entire field, including TSC Mu Terran. And now, a couple of months back, TSC Mu Protoss got launched, and Protoss did about the same thing to the competition as the Terran and Zerg bots had done previously. Now, Killerbot's going for about the same bot that TSC Mu Zerg used to do, but with a little bit of more defensive things, and we've got one Zealot, and that is going to be run out of natural. Now, 2 Sunkens, handful of Lings, and is running for its life. I don't know that these Lings have got speed yet. No, they can't have, because there is no gas. And although there are now more Zealots, so we've got a bit of an early game skirmish between Zealots and Lings coming up. Of course, I don't fancy that these Zealots are going to run in there. I don't know if they have seen it. What will they know? They have... And I don't know why these buildings don't show up. I really don't know. That must be something with the observing thingies. Probe gets taken down, so first blood officially for Killerbot. Now more gateways coming. TSC Mu going for a 1 base Zealot heavy pressure. And that's a very good choice, but in the long run you're going to need something else, because Killerbot is already taking up to hive, mining gas. It's got quite a nice number of drones. The probe saturation is good for 1 base, and there are more builds. We've got now a handful of goons coming, so perhaps this will be a okay, more Sunkens. This will be a very hard position to take for Protoss, because you've got Lings, you've got drones, and you've got blocking buildings, and then the sunken colonies, and now we've got a 4th coming through. Oh no, that's a spire. That's an interesting place to build your tech buildings. And now some drones and Lings taken off, and these Zealots eating a couple of sunken spines in return. Now, where is that goon going? I don't know. That's an interesting place for a spire. I can't formulate it anywhere else. Now, Protoss expanding as well, but it's very late for a Protoss. And we've got a what? We've got a scout. For those of you unfamiliar with StarCraft Broodwar or StarCraft Broodwar at a pro level, okay, these Lings are getting cut up by the Protoss army. Protoss units so much stronger individually. You need that numbers as a Zerg to be able to do anything with that. And okay, one Ling is going to get in there and might be able to get off a nice scout, but no, the probe blocks it, and no kills, no glory, only death and scouting of the expansion. Now, 3rd base coming up for Zerg, and now with a muter, and that is interesting because now we've got 1 scout and 4 muters, and that is not something you like to see too much. What's the next one? The next one is another scout. Okay, so 2 scouts. Perhaps if they team up, where are they? They should be somewhere. Oh yeah. Okay, 1 scout got taken down. Where are the the goons? And this is something you never ever see. Got weapons. What? I can't. We've got 2 gates making scouts. Meanwhile, the entire map is flooded with muters now. This is not going anywhere. We've got a couple of Zealots racking up Ling kills and meanwhile, but they're not going to get in here. I doubt if they're going to get in here. And the main base is safe because as soon as the scout gets built, we are 2 years into the future, and these muters by that time will have killed it all. Okay, well, let's see what they're going to do to the main base. Depopulated might be a wise bet. And now we've got 2 scouts out. They are playing hit and run. Got 1 kill here. Another one there. No, that's not going to work. Meanwhile, Killerbot going for more hatcheries, upgrades, more units, more of everything, computers. And you can't, with the depopulated base, win that. Okay. I had wanted to present TSC Mu Protoss as a bit of a counterweight to the new LetaBot. And Killerbot as well, Killerbot is just a very solid Zerg. It's well balanced in offense and defense, and has got some good micro and decision making. So it's it's also one of the big contenders for the 2015 title, and that's nothing to sneeze at for well, such an old school programmer as Marian Diveka is. Now this is all over. Well played by Killerbot. More bases coming up. Have we got more tech in the pipeline? No, I think it's decided. Well, I can do this with Mutus alone. So that's the GG. Just calling it because TSC Mu doesn't seem inclined to do it himself. Now that was that. That was that. And another big update we had from Simon Prince, and his bot, of course, is called Tyr. And it doesn't start. That's a damn pity. Okay, well, not going to cast that then. Or, well, that's Overkill. And Overkill surprised us all by taking third place out of nothing at the CIG tournament, which took place in the summer in Taiwan. But I don't know, perhaps its coder CGS Shu has got something up his sleeve for the 2015 tournament, but that is not really going anywhere, and that is a damn shame. Sometimes that happens, bots fail to start. It could be something in the coding, it could be something of an interaction with the tournament software, because all these games have been played automatically. There is, as you can see, these are the replay numbers, and there is no one at Student StarCraft AI Tournament headquarters scheduling 100,000 something games. That is all done automatically, and it's streamed automatically. But there are so many programs depending on each other that it's a bit hard to determine where it's going wrong. And for the tournament, of course, we will be running it in a more stable environment, because no, you can't have that during a tournament. But for the live stream, and that is where all these replays are come from, you need something to broadcast it and restart the virtual machines and to load the games and to do a couple of more things. So it all gets a bit unstable at times, but it's most of the time it's working fine. Now we've got Andrew Smith, and Andrew Smith is the coder of Skynet, and Skynet is, well, I think it is the best Protoss at the moment. TSC Mu Protoss is very good, but it's not really stable, as you could see last game. So Skynet, I think, is still the best Protoss bot. It's very, very good. It's been last updated in 2013, and while it's still around with win rates of between 60 and 90%, it's just very stable. Now, at the other end of the map, we've got Marian Deveka, and Marian Deveka, of course, is the author of Killerbot. Killerbot we had last game versus TSC Mu Protoss, so now let's see how Killerbot is going to do versus a more stable Protoss. Now, again, two Sunkens, very well placed, and these Zealots are going to have a hell of a time breaking through that, and with the Lings and the Sunkens, I don't think that Skynet is going to get much done. And will this Zealot escape? No, it won't. Okay. One more Zealot coming up, and that looks like a bit of an A-move scenario, and that you can't possibly be willing to do versus Lings and Sunkens. But it seems it's transitioning out of that, because we've got the assimilator and gas, and yep, there come the probes. Meanwhile, Killerbot blocking up the entrance, and that's very good, because it will need the money for drones, really. As you can see, it's droning up a little bit. The saturation here is very low and almost non-existent at the natural. These are very good at fending off Zealots, but they cost 50 and a drone, so that's 100 up front, and then 75 again for the transition, the mutation into a sunken colony. And that is 175 minus all the minerals, or plus all the minerals that a drone could have mined in all the time that it's not being a sunken colony. So as a Zerg, you've got a bit of a third resource really to keep into consideration. But now by this time, I don't think these lone Zealots are doing what they ought to do, and they're not being cost effective. These two Sunkens are doing a lot of damage, and although it's skilled 2, well, it cost 100 and it did damage worth of 50 minerals, so that is... it's not awful, but it's not good. And Skynet just keeps feeding these Zealots one at a time into the base. Now we've got a Goon coming up, and I can only hope that that Goon will keep a little bit of distance, because although this sunken colony does get worn down, the drone saturation of Zerg is going up steadily but slowly, and when the Spire hits, I think that with the Lings and the Sunkens and the Mutas, it will be a foregone conclusion for Protoss. And now Protoss is expanding, that's very good. A lot of gateways, a lot of eco, and if you look at the Nexus, still probes are being produced, and the saturation is very good already, so you can, I think, expect a probe transfer to the natural, and eventually this sunken might be taken out, I don't really know. Overlord, more drones, and that is very good, because you need a bit of drone saturation to increase your income. You can double your income compared with this drone saturation compared to it was when I first noticed it was pretty low. But you also need a handful of fighting units, and now these overlords are under attack and there is nothing to fend them off. 2 Lings, now in range of the sunken. Oh, and that is expensive, because these overlords won't die all of a sudden, and that is just two goons down the tube. Drone transfer having popped up, and look at all these probes waiting neatly in line with the resources. You could issue that command one more time to actually have them. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That is something I've never seen Skynet doing, and there it goes. At times it will reissue the command to return the resources, and then these probes, which are now idle, can actually go back to work. Now, with more gateways up and no more tech, we've now got mutas, and these probes, they smell something is amiss, but you need goons or something else that can shoot up into the air. I don't mean heroin. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Armor coming up, nope. Nope, 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 nope. That is not working. So many probes dead, and even if these mutas all get killed by this one goon, all the probes in the main base have gone, and the natural, well, the saturation is okay, but it's not how you want to fight a Zerg, which is now, is now on 3 base, with a little bit of a defensive structure up as well. Mutas coming too, and I can't see this going anywhere but in Killerbot's favour. So Killerbot now taking out the last air defense, all the probes. Killerbot is a very, very good contender for the 2015 title, and I really thought that after the AIIDE that TSC Mu won by a very slight margin over a 3-pool, 4-pool bot, Triple Z K-bot. I really thought that TSC Mu might take the 2015 tournament, but unless we see a major update of TSC Mu over the next week, because next week in a couple of days, in 4 or 5 days, 2015 tournament will start, and TSC Mu has got a lot of work to do to catch up to, among others, this really brilliant reincarnation of Killerbot. It is really doing its name justice, it's killing things left and right, and if Stone doesn't run off with the trophy with his unorthodox though brilliant SCP rush and repair strategy, I think that Killerbot is one of the major contenders for the 2015 title. Okay, well, you can probably guess where this is going, so I'm calling the GG. I had one more game, and that I am, well, in the light of how the cards are being stacked right now, it's a bit of a trip down memory lane, really, and that's a bit cruel to say, because TSC Mu has been working very hard. It's in 1 year he's made a bot that can play all 3 races up to a very, very high level, and high level I mean be a major contender for the first 3 places at the tournaments, and has done some very impressive learning stuff already. But well, it's just they macro so deliciously. So we've got TSC Mu Protoss as I think it's the white Protoss at the top right corner, in the lower left as the right the red Zerg. We've got TSC Mu Zerg. Going to speed up a little bit. because these early stages aren't really all that interesting really, and 2 base 1 pool, and that is a very aggressive opening because Lings will be coming out. Lings are out now and you need something to fend them off. Quick. Okay, we've got a Zealot coming, will it be in time? There come the Lings, no they get distracted. And now these, oh dear, the Zealots are going to charge off the fend off this drone. Meanwhile, we've got Lings into the drone line, the probe line. And oh dear, yep, there it comes. And where is the other one? Okay, that's a nice bit of decision making. So Protoss now has 2 bases up versus almost 3. Saturation wise, I think they're about equal because the probes get produced so much quicker. Might do with a bit of transfer though, but meanwhile, where is it saving money for? I don't know. We've got a core and we've got some zealots out on the map. Again, TSC Mu Zerg with the adaptive sunken placement. Of course, you should know that among the very many excellent qualities that TSC Mu has, especially the Zerg, I think the Zerg is still the best of the TSC Mu races really, but if it scouts more enemy troops, then it will build more sunken colonies to defend, and that's very nice, because attacking static defensive buildings is very hard for bots, because they have to calculate how it's going to interact with the enemy ground troops, and you've got a bit of a combination of static defense and ground troops and your own strength and moving in and taking damage before you reach the sunkens proper, so that's a very hard thing to do still. And now, as you can see, we've got a bit of a scattering of forces, but the Protoss seems to have the lid down on the Zerg, because these Hydras don't really move out, and now the 3rd base is in danger of going down. Meanwhile, whoa, that is a lot of tech by TSC Mu Protoss. We've got weapons upgrade, we've got range upgrade, and we have got another forge, so that is very heavy. A very heavy investment in gateway units, and there goes the 3rd, yep, and the extractor to boot. And now Zerg is in a lot of trouble, because although it's got 3 sunkens and quite a bit of units, there is a lot of Protoss army about. It's being upgraded, and what is going to do? We now can see a lurker aspect, and that might be something very useful, because there is no detection. TSC, oh, I say that, but I lie. Well, there is detection, and that is going to be a huge problem, because these zealots and goons are going to make short work of these sub-colonies. The army advantage is now so huge. Protoss 85 supplies, Zerg 35, hello, goodbye, lots of goons with range, with +1. And these, well, have we got any lurkers brewing? No lurkers brewing. These goons take down everything, and that's a big flaw of the TSC Mu code, that if it decides that it can't win, it moves out of the way, but sometimes you need to trade even inefficiently to just give some other portion of your army the chance to do something. And here you could have fought at the ramp and had a bit of an okay-ish exchange, but if you run away and let the enemy take down your buildings, that's not really really the ticket. Protoss going very well. I don't think, well, I said earlier we saw that game where it built scouts versus a Zerg, and I think that this is a much better build, because it's so very heavy on the gateway units, so very good on, there must be an archive somewhere, because they've got +1 already. I don't know where it is. Okay, here it is. And that's a very good build, so I think it might come down to the builds which TSC Mu is picking. Again, this was a short broadcast pre-tournament, as on the 25th of December the 2015 Student StarCraft AI Tournament is starting. Among the contenders for the prize are of course Stone with its unorthodox SCV repair and rush strategy. TSC Mu, after all, very good, won AIIDE triple SSCAIT with the 4 pool and some Daft Micro won CIG tournament earlier this year, and of course you've got LetaBot, 2014 winner, Marion Diveka with Killerbot, and I think if Simon Prince pulls off an all-nighter or two, it could make some very, very good improvements to its bot. So those are the big contenders. We'll be back with videos of the group stage and the elimination stages, so watch our Facebook, come visit our site, and if you're really interested, you might even get into coding yourself. If you visit our website, you can learn to play with us, all these bots as well. You need to install a couple of things. So yeah, that was it. I thank you for watching, and have a nice day and a nice Christmas. Goodbye.